The Wellness Show, Episode 69.
Welcome to The Wellness Show, a podcast on health and wealth. I'm your host, Tyson Bannigan, the founder of the Extraordinary Healing Arts Academy. Join me as we get the latest insight, tips, and strategies from wellness providers, coaches, and successful, heart-centered entrepreneurs, and much, much more. So welcome to the Wellness Show, and on the call today I have Christine Yole. And Christine is a teacher, and she's an author and healer, and she assists people to get to the root of what is causing their physical, mental, and emotional upsets, and facilitates change at a rate many people have deemed miraculous. I love that word, miraculous. She completed her BSc in Human Biology and Health and her Master's in Education in Counselling Psychology. So, Christine, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's an honor and pleasure to be here with you today.
So what would you most like people to know about you right now?
About me?
Yeah, about you.
Well, essentially, I'm just inspired to contribute to people embracing more of who they are. Anywhere we're caught in trying to just seek specific answers, and then once we get it, we stop the search, right? We just kind of come to a decision. This is how life works, or this is what health is, or this is what wellness looks like. And I just encourage everyone to continue that expansion, right? To continue to wonder and be curious about what else, kind of what else is beyond what we've known before now. So we're continuing to update what we know and upgrade what's possible for us every day.
Well, it sounds like a bit of an eternal search or a quest for understanding, but there's nothing wrong with that. We're always then going to be a learner, and we always know that it's an incomplete discovery, that there's something new to know about ourselves. Is that what you're getting at?
Exactly. And beyond just like a mental search, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that can be the most tempting, to just want to understand everything. But I know for me, I came to a point where understanding wasn't actually creating the change in my life that I desired, right? I understood so much about what led me to where I was, and past limitations, strengths and weaknesses, etc. But that wasn't actually leading to the desired change in my life. So that's when I had to be willing to surrender my mental understanding and then pursue the deeper levels of my being. What's going on in my emotional level? What's going on in my energetic and my subtle bodies? And so just the exploration within, who we are at deeper and deeper levels, and then extending that outwards, right, in our material manifest reality.
So how did you overcome your desire for brain candy? Because I think that's the addiction of our culture, isn't it? And we think that once we know something that we've actually implemented, when we haven't, we just know it at the conscious level, but we haven't done anything with the information.
Well, it was actually my mind itself that just essentially couldn't take it anymore. It was like it got to the end of its road, right? Where it's like, I have tried so hard. I've read so many books. I've journaled. I've studied under so many people. I've done meditation. I've done all this. So, the spiritual pursuit from a mental platform, right, only takes you so far. And it was just like, I can't do this anymore. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know how to figure this all out, right? So it was a process of just surrender when it just got to that edge where it's like, I don't know what to do here. And so that's typically the point of surrender, when it just simply can't move forward as it did before. Like there was a point where my mind knew that no understanding would give me peace.
So how did you come to that? I mean, for some people, they have a meltdown. Some people have, a second order change or transformation because their brain just can't handle it anymore, and actually starts to break down, and then a new synthesis happens and they have an aha, like a flash of inspiration or insight. Or did you just come to this spontaneously, or did you have to go through a crisis?
Well, for me, it was after my counseling degree when I started working with people, and I was starting to take on their traumas. It was like I would leave feeling worse than when I arrived, and they would feel better. And then I'd be getting flashes of their history, and everything they described to me was in vivid visual detail. So I was basically beginning to just sink into this, this doesn't feel good. What do I do with this? And so it was when my understanding wasn't keeping me safe any longer, so to speak. It wasn't keeping the world in order because I couldn't understand what was going on. And that led to that just going deeper into the emotional body. But then also it was like I was just kind of blasted open and started to really bring in all this kind of sadness and grief and suffering that really brought me to my knees. And it wasn't even in my external world. There was no drama or chaos. I didn't need many external triggers.
Right.
I just kind of just chose to have it without the crazy chaos externally. That was my chosen reality.
Well, that's well done. I mean, that's sure better than a mental breakdown or going through hell and coming out, or the dark night of the soul that some of us have to go through in order to wake up. So yours sounds a little bit more gentle, although I'm sure that at the time it didn't feel very gentle. So how did you, go ahead. You wanted to say something.
Well, I was just saying, I wouldn't use gentle as the term to describe it. But I just would say that, and of course I didn't know I was choosing it at the time. I see now that I chose it from a higher perspective. But at the time, it just felt like everything was falling apart and I couldn't really move forward. And there was not a lot going wrong in my external environment. So my mind didn't have enough to assign the emotion to. You know how people can really still assign, I'm feeling this because of this. Yeah. Well, my mind couldn't assign it. It's like this level of grief doesn't make sense. And at some point I realized I was really feeling the grief and sadness of a lot of people. And that was my initiation, right, into having the capacity to really feel a lot.
So how did you come up with boundaries to keep yourself safe? Because at that point, you were literally running all of your client stuff and you were having flashes of insight on what happened. It was almost like you're living their life or part of their life in the quest to understand what was going on. So how did you come to determining or strengthening your boundaries so that you could, I guess, mentally dump all of that and turn it on or turn it off? How did you come to that?
Well, I think that's part of the initiation, gaining greater mastery of the gifts, right? Because at the time they feel like burdens. Being empathic, knowing what people are thinking, those are burdens until you have, mastery of them, and just turn the gifts on when they're being asked under specific conditions when it's relevant, right? Instead of walking around the world just feeling everything and just having other people's experiences. And I think it was like maybe on a deep level, my yearning for oneness, just opening up a little too soon to the oneness, opening to oneness in a world of separation isn't so much fun. So it's like, whoa, never mind that idea. Turn back. Yes. Don't do it. I know for boundaries were like, I didn't like boundaries. Boundaries. I don't like boundaries.
Hey, I don't need boundaries.
Exactly, right? I just want oneness and all of us to be together and
we're all one.
And love and light and joy and peace. But anyways, I really came to, I actually chose to have a body, right? To have an individual, unique experience of the one. And so especially over the last couple of years, there's been a lot around boundaries, kind of imagining my energy field as a house and being like, I claim this is my home. No one comes in without my permission. I don't enter other people's homes without their permission. So I really got clear on energetic boundaries, emotional boundaries, and through the layers. Physical boundaries can be more obvious, but it's the emotional and the energetic that we're violated all the time. We don't even know it. So it's just, but when we claim like, hey, no, this is my home, and I don't just have an open door policy, right? I'm intentional with my, which gives me the capacity to function here as I am. And I give everyone else their choice to have their life. I didn't come here to live their life. I came here to live mine. But that can get pretty distorted when you're in that awakening, blown open to everything experience.
Yeah, that's really a nice way to describe it. I use the house analogy myself. How can you expect to have a safe environment if your front door is open and your windows and you got, come on in and make yourself at home, and you have a welcome sign outside, and then you come home and everybody's having a party in the living room, and then you get upset. Right. We got to do something about the boundaries, right?
Well, in my class last week, I just joked that say we're asleep, we're kind of in a fog, and people are at the door, come in, whatever you want, just make yourself at home, sleep where you want, eat what you want. And then we wake up and we go, wait a second, what is going on here? When did I say yes to this? Right? So it's like kind of essentially resetting the boundary when we're more alert or more conscious. So everyone describe that experience of being more like cognizant of everything around you and going, wait a second, no, let's let's reset these boundaries and agreements so that they benefit all rather than just you or me.
Right. Yeah, I think that's really, really important, particularly for people that are empathic, right? They're
Oh
having
my
this
goodness.
experience of one, and it's all lollipops and roses, and we want it to be that way. And in one level, that's where we're going, but it's not a safe world with lollipops and roses right now. We do have some reality of some things that we need to get through, and people are not at that trustworthy level. I mean, they just don't understand it, and will just walk in and, like you said, even start a fire in the middle of your living room, with no, no problem whatsoever. So I'm assuming that now that you've learned all this, and that, from the education that you have, that now you're helping your clients come to terms with all this. Is that correct?
Absolutely. And especially those who, are quote spiritual and empathic and have learned these different truths that are true in higher dimensions, but not in the like 3D, 4D, however you want to describe where we're at. It's kind of like, just be open. No. I told my client very firmly, like, no, just be open is not honoring you, right? That's the open door policy. And that's why you're getting these migraines and all sorts of pressure on your head, right? It's like, no, right? Like, not an open door, just be open. I mean, of course we desire to open our heart, but opening in a way, it just means the capacity to receive more love and express more love. It's not like open your heart to everyone and everything around you and just let them have their way with you, right?
Right. So how do you teach people then how to turn on? I mean, because you're obviously guided, because you're an intuitive, you're empathic, you feel other people's energies, you can guide them and help them because you get messages coming through you. So when you're working with other empaths, do you help them sort of like, I talk about installing like a rheostat so you can turn your psychic abilities up and turn them off so that you're not overwhelmed with all the channels being open all the time. Do you do something like that with your clients to help them, be comfortable in their body, yet not be overwhelmed by all this information coming in, but have it available when they need it?
Absolutely, yeah. And some people come to me because they have certain gifts that just kind of turn on for, they have an event in their life or a set of experiences and they're like, all of a sudden I know when people are going to die and it's freaking me out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever that is. Or, I feel overwhelmed, or all of a sudden I'm getting these headaches, or all of a sudden my body hurts and I don't know what's causing it. So it's that, like, what is going on? Like,
Yes.
What is up? That's often the people that come to me, like, what's going on here? And so say, what I really advise, it's like, learn to embrace your gifts. Once we have a gift, you can't like toss it out, right?
No,
if you
can't
try to
ignore it. You can't turn it off.
No, it's like you push the gift away, it controls you and destroys your life. You embrace the gift, you have choice. How would you like to use the gift? Because what happens otherwise is you get those people running around in grocery stores being like, I have a message for you, right? And it's like, whoa, okay. Whoa, the gift is controlling you.
Yeah.
That's not you being the master of your gifts, right? The gifts are here to benefit and contribute to you, but you have to be the one to assign them that job. Otherwise, they're going to work on their own terms and it may not work for you.
Yeah, that's a really good description, is how you described it. And the image of somebody running around in the store wanting to help everybody, become enlightened tomorrow morning, is it's a good way to understand how a mental institution works. So we don't want to go there, but we do want to keep people safe. I mean, it must be, well, when I think about it, it must be scary for the new kids coming through, the rainbows and the crystals and all of those coming through. I mean, we have gifts. I mean, we're forerunners of this ability to have these intuitive gifts that come to us, right? We're born with, and we need to learn how to deal with them. And our culture is not very good at helping us do that. And in fact, they just want us to fit in. But with these new kids, which are extremely aware, right, and telepathically connected to each other, do you have some of those as your clients? Are they showing up in a way that you can assist them?
So far, just here and there, but I have a feeling that more will be coming in this next year or two. I have these visions of just more kids around me because, yeah, I can communicate a lot just telepathically, non-verbally, and my mental field is very clear now because it, committed suicide, so to speak. I can't be here. I can't do this. I'm like, you don't have to, honey. Shh, go to sleep. I'll look after you, right? I'll take it from here. My higher self, embodying in the present moment awareness field. And so, yeah, now it's like I can really connect with children. And often I have some kids that will just run up and jump into my arms, right? Because they're asking for that, just that field of love and presence and honoring, knowing that their boundaries won't be violated and they won't be receiving just all these thought forms and feeling signatures from people who are not integrated. And they don't know how to handle it with their bodies and their systems, right? Because they came in with a lot of courage saying, we're just going to be this, stand for this, and we can't turn it off. So the systems have to adjust to us, right? And that's not an easy path, but how much can we support all these kids to really embrace their gifts, see the beauty of them, and transmit the frequencies of love and honoring and nurturing and caring. So they're like, okay, it does exist here.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's one of my passions. And we're about to launch the Rainbow Children's Network just to help do that, to help parents and grandparents understand who these kids are and, how they've arrived with all these abilities and how to provide a safe environment for them. And why are they having nightmares, or why are they having trouble with their emotions, and having people like you that can be there to help these kids and their parents and their grandparents understand how to create a safe environment so that they can show up. All of them can show up, because some of them become autistic and some of them, become emotionally handicapped because it's just too much information. There's too much pain. There's too much to process, just too much going on. So having people like you that have the credentials and the ability to help them understand who they are. But mostly importantly, like you said, it's a matter of having an open heart so the kid can feel you and feel safe so it can open up and have that communication.
Yeah, and especially acknowledging, because physical safety is more, easy to see, right? And be like, oh yeah, they have a roof over their head, they have food. What's the problem? What's the deal, right? Why can't they isn't that good enough, right? But it's really the emotional safety and the energetic safety, and often, many of us grew up in environments where our caregivers didn't have a lot of maturity emotionally, right? They weren't integrated emotionally, so there's a lot of emotional neglect and maybe not emotional safety. We little kids are like reading the environment and like trying to, decide what's going to come and how to look after things and keep the peace and moderate this. And so we're like working full time just to create safety emotionally and energetically, and then wonder why later, we don't feel at peace. It's like, whoa, okay, I have to, all the things I learned to cope and survive, I have to redirect those gifts to really serve me and serve consciousness. Because when it's in a fear-based survival, it's just a hypervigilance, which stresses my nervous system. So I know one thing for me was, and which is great for kids too, is just teaching them to breathe and consciously learn to relax their nervous system, and then set up that house or set up that auric field, or imagine different colors of light, like whatever works for people to kind of claim their choice, to be like, I choose to have space here, whatever it takes, right?
Yeah, very powerful. So what would be some your hot tips for empaths? Seeing as you've been there, done that, and come to some realizations. And we know that there's lots more out there that hopefully will listen to this call and hopefully can feel it in your voice, your sincerity, and understand that, God, there's somebody out there who understands me. Now what? So what would be some of the hot tips?
Right. Let's see.
First of all, if you
honest.
can't see this, the first thing she's doing is closing her eyes and going inward and tuning in and letting go of her rational brain to pull that deeper part of herself and allow it to come through into the present. So for those that can't see the video, that's exactly what Christine is doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And that would be the thing. I mean, one, having a practice of tuning in. I recommend for people who are empaths, first thing in the morning. I mean, the house is an easy analogy. Imagine a house around you. First, open the door, open the window, and open all the windows. And then all the energies, just clear house. So just imagine all the energies just leaving the house. So it's you choose to have this house and just allowing all the energies to leave the house. And then when you feel a sense of relief or relaxation in your body, now close the door and close the windows and potentially assign your higher self or teammates or however you kind of conceive of your universal energetic support team, and just ask, I by the directive of my higher self, only that which serves, me, my body, and my life, and the evolution of consciousness on the planet is welcome here. And so it's just setting an intention to claim your house, claim your space. And when you choose that, when you set that intention, it basically is the message that has to be abided by. So when you set like, hey, this is my space and this is what I choose, then you can have your individual unique experience of life, right? Sometimes I've done I claim this body, I claim this life as mine. I choose to have this experience. I commit to my life as I am now. And that is another way for me to claim my unique individualist experience. So then we actually get to receive the benefits of all the quote hard work we've done to come to where we are, right? So that we can actually, so then I get to feel the harmony and the love and the balance and the depth of appreciation for being. So, because if I don't have that house space, I just feel other people, and that's not always fun, right? So, and then again, like anything, you can't push your gifts away. So I recommend just claiming, I choose this gift, and now I choose to use this gift in a way that serves me, my life, my body, however you want to name that, but it's just I choose to claim this gift as mine and have it directed in a way that serves me and benefits all, right? And so then the gift now can be under your higher self directed rather than controlling you. So I would say the biggest tip is in the morning, claiming your space, and then claiming your gift, and then secondary, claiming your gifts as yours and asking your higher self to direct how those gifts are used in this manifest world of form to benefit all.
I like that. What came to me when you were describing that is the idea of us, we take a shower every morning to cleanse our physical body, and at the same time we can imagine the shower as a shower of light to cleanse our spiritual body and our emotional bodies as well, as part of that morning ritual of, securing the house, cleaning up, having your spirit guides and your guardian angels help you do that and maintain your environment, and then cleaning your physical, spiritual part. What I really liked what you were saying is we get the opportunity to create the reality that we want. You didn't say it quite that way, but that's what you were hinting at. So can you say more about the whole concept of, being empathic and, making intention statements, like you said, which are declarations that, I claim my gifts and I honor my gifts and I step into the world, those sorts of things. Talk about a little bit about creating your own world and the power of that as an empath.
Okay, one quick thing just on what you had spoken to before that I just want to bring up for empaths is there's been this idea of protection or needing to protect. When you're functioning from a protection needing to protect model, then you're going to always have something to protect yourself from. So
and
we want to really step.
Isn't it? It's exhausting.
Totally exhausting. Yeah. So this is a very important key that I get like, whoom, I get my ninja move coming in. Yeah. I call my spiritual ninja, and like abusive voices in your head, like gone, right? Anyways, yeah. But with this, it's so key to wake up from the protection model, because if you're buying in the need to be protected, you're going to create your reality so that there are things coming into your world that you need to be protected from. So you're going to maintain the need to be protected. So yeah, so creating a reality. So in this, I just wanted to just kind of emphasize the creating the space of your house, right, and claiming your gifts, and that it's your choosing. It's like your life. I heard this quote the other day, your life is your prayer. And so if you really now in that house, in your home, right, you're just like, what is my prayer for the world. And in your house, you call those energies in. Is it harmony, love, peace, nurturing, deep appreciation, honoring for the body, right? You know, an honoring of the earth, you know, really working with the elementals. You know, whatever is true there, it's just claiming what is your prayer for the planet. If you had total choice into how it felt to be here, what would be your prayer? And in your home, you're like that's kind of your transmission, your vote energetically. So that's where we claim, this is what I desire to be. And as we do that, you know, I mean, let's see, the law of attraction, reality of the vibrations, you know, and those things, there's aspects of that work. I think there's a lot of really, like, when I tune into law of attraction, it's like, so I think there's a lot of noise, a lot of noise and confusion there. That's the read on the collective.
Yeah, right.
So what
am I supposed, and I can see the guardian angels saying, what was that
right?
message?
Because of course,
what do you want me to do?
Right?
I'm confused.
Right, and in the mind level, like, create your own reality, but it's coming from this separate, like, I'm gonna have this and get out of my castle, you people. Right? So no, it's more like, when you're intentional with your energy and space, that's your energetic vote for how you desire people to treat you. So if you're cultivating a home of love, nurturing, caring, support, appreciation, that's your vote for how you desire people to treat you. And the boundary is, say, when someone comes in and they're not capable of treating you with that regard, you say, like, blessings to you. May you be blessed with love and balance and, you know, clarity of mind and honoring your heart, so that you may honor mine in the future. But right now, I'm not seeing that being demonstrated. So you can't come into my home right now, right? May you be blessed with whatever you require. So that's our energetic vote, and that's a way of setting boundaries. So when we have a sense of feeling, and then someone's matching that with their bringing more harmony into our life, they're bringing more love into our life, they're bringing in the appreciation of who we are and our gifts. So we invite those people in, and that's how we stabilize our energy and have it expand, right? Become more of like a network of potential over the planet, right? That we can easily tap into, rather than just being separate, create my own reality in a bubble, right? That's the whole thing. Like, everything could be collapsing around you. You're like, I'm in my bubble and it's all perfect. Light, love, positive.
And I'm manifesting what I want.
Exactly. Never mind you. Never mind we're in it together, and we chose to, like, awaken consciousness on the planet in collective, you know, realities, not in our little separate bubbles. But I mean, it's a start, right?
Yes.
Your separate bubble is a starting place, in the sense of, oh, I do have choice. Oh, I do have choice over what I'm thinking and feeling. And okay. And then that becomes, you know, the whole positive intention affirmation. It's a way to begin to train the mind to, you know, just, oh, I can change this. Oh, I have some choice here. You know, and then for a while that works. And then at some point it's like, now that you have consciousness, you get to look at whatever you've defined or judged as negative in your shadow, right? So you can become a fully integrated, heart-centered, loving being present on the earth now. So at some point, the law of like the positive intention stops working to just positive when you're resisting the negative. And we want to now take the judgment off polarity and move into an integrated, unified space.
Yeah, I liked what you were saying about, you know, creating the energetics around your house, and really the part of that is it's going to include and exclude people almost spontaneously. So the friends that you had before that are not on that wavelength anymore won't show up. They won't even come to your door. And new friends that are on that wavelength, or people that will become your friend, will show up. And then all of a sudden you start to find your tribe. You start to find who you're here to work with, who's the like-minded people that can help you further, you know, the reason why you're here. And there comes your tribe and your community of like-minded people that you can work with. Because as you said, on this upper level, this is a collective. This is a community of like-minded people that are bringing about the change and transformation on this planet. That's why we're here. And as we meet this agenda, we can work together. So tell me a bit about that part from your perspective.
Yeah, so there are a lot of us, one thing that came up as you're speaking is just when a lot of us have had this perspective of the do it yourself, do it on your own, I can do it best, no one else can do it better. A lot of us, I know from my past, had just this, I'll do it on my own, kind of wherever that came from, right? I could give reason and justification to how that was developed in me. But I think there's a lot of us who had the do it yourself, do it on your own kind of template. And now that's the one that we're saying no more, right? We came to this moment in time, quote, like on our own with maybe potentially little or not, quote, enough support. But now it's like claiming we are here. We are all here. And every day I meet people and I'm like, oh, we're here, right? I love that, the instantaneous knowing. I meet people and it's just like, oh, thank you. Thank you for everything you've chosen and all the work you've done to bring you to the moment of now, because I can just perceive how much integrity and just the level of commitment to this path, which is quite challenging because it does at times feel like everything's being lost or destroyed or whatever, and identity structures are fighting for life, and it feels like you're going to die, right? I don't want to be here. It's just an identity structure like, what's going to happen if I'm not here? And I'm like, it's okay, right? So we become more familiar with that path, but now is the time for us to really come together. And so all of those, I'll just kind of, transmit the message to all of you out there who have the do-it-yourself, I'm on my own here. Really, it's now this time to challenge that perspective, and not through fight or force, but just through I wonder. Like, say you're opening a new door and just going, wait, I wonder if there are actually people here now who I can meet and who can meet me, right? Because there's so much to celebrate. So we can finally be celebrated for our gifts and celebrate others' gifts. So we're coming out of the realities where we're always challenged and people are always questioning us or, oh, what are you doing? That's weird. Like, we're just coming out of that where we were constantly tested and challenged and going through trials to just like resting in the celebration of, yes, I chose this. Yes, I committed to this. And now we can celebrate with each other everything we've done to come to where we are now and really honor that deeply.
So how can people celebrate with you? How can they find you and work with you and help meet your tribe and learn and grow together? How do people do that?
Absolutely. So I have my website, www.christineyole.com, ChristineYole.com. So you can go to the website there and send me a note, say on the contact me page, just say, hey, I listened to the wellness show. I'd love to be connected. If you are on Facebook, you can look me up on Facebook, just Christine Yole, and add me as a friend or send a little note there. I have a YouTube channel, which I put videos on somewhat sporadically. On my website, there's a blog, so there's a lot of material there just on the blog. So I would say those are the main ones. I mean, I have a LinkedIn profile if you do LinkedIn. I don't fully understand that one yet, other than I have a profile and I add people, and now we both see each other on this thing. But I know a lot of people who really use it for a lot of great business purposes, I guess. So that's what I would say is the easiest way. Just go to my website, send a note, and then I can send you an email back, and we could potentially just have brief correspondence. If you'd like to work with me, we could set up a free 20-minute consultation and just check in with each other and see if I can really benefit you in your life now.
Great. And you have a Facebook group too, where you make announcements of upcoming programs, right?
Yeah, so I create events on Facebook. So I have an online class on Zoom every Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m. So I create a Facebook event. The next week always comes out on the Sunday before, because that's when I'm giving the information for what it's going to be. And then often just as we're starting the class, I'm like, what am I talking about? And then I just start talking for 2 hours, with everyone there kind of giving their vote as to what's relevant to them in their life and what they want to receive. And then I also, I'm doing a meditation this Sunday, so I have a Facebook event for that, and so I can, as you had mentioned, that you said there's a wellness tribe page, or?
Yes, on Facebook.
Okay, yeah, so I can start just posting my events on there so that everyone's aware of what's going on. But yeah, I just love people from all over the world gathering and really so that we can feel the celebration, right? Feel all of those who have come to, this just moment where we can create a coherent field. And as people feel that and know it's here, it just, especially at the body level, because our body level is like, I don't believe it's really true, right? I just feel all these people who are asleep or whatever. It's kind of doubting. But as the body level receives that coherent field with the people gathered, it begins to trust. And so you no longer have an aspect of you fighting the evolution, because your body wants to be on board too. It just often doesn't feel safe enough to trust until it feels directly that people are there and can honor it in all ways.
It was a pleasure having you on the show. I love what you're doing, and we'll talk again soon. Bye for now.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
For quality online wellness products, courses, and services, visit our sponsors, thewellnessstore.ca and the Extraordinary Healing Arts Academy located at thewellnessacademy.ca. To stay in touch, visit us at thewellnessshow.ca. And until next time, be healthy, wealthy, and wise.